Squeezing with your... Hello, and welcome to Sub 20 All In, where I've given myself 10 weeks to take my 5k PB down from 22 minutes to sub 20. Can it be done? I don't know. Well, that's what we're here to find out. Thanks for joining me, and here's what happened in week 4.
In North Wingfield, it's 20 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect clouds and showers with a low of 14 degrees.
Alright guys, here we are then. Week 4, it's the Wednesday interval session. Just heading down to the old railway trails again. And this time, the session has 5 intervals, each of 1.2 kilometre, and the target pace is 4:15 per kilometre. So 5 seconds faster than last week's target. There's a minute walking break in between each one as usual. Legs were feeling a little bit sore and achy earlier on. Not the freshest, but maybe that's just a trick that my body's trying to play on me. Let's see how we get on anyway. Just doing the 2 kilometre warm up now, and then we'll get into the session. I'm still alternating between the 2 pairs of shoes for the speed session on a Wednesday. Back in the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite Racers today. So yeah, hopefully they'll bring me luck again. Though to be fair, the intervals have been going well no matter what shoes I've worn up to now. So hopefully that run continues. Too fast, 4:01. This is uphill as well. Found the range now. 4:13, 4 minutes 12 that kilometre. 200 metres to go. Right, walk for a minute now. Off we go, rep 2. 4:14 that kilometre, 200 metres to go. Right, rep 2 done. One more this way, and then I'll turn around and head back for the final 2 reps. Here we go, rep 3. 4:12 that kilometre, 200 metres to go. Higher. Higher. Hiya. Going a bit fast this way. Got a bit busy on the trail, so lost focus. Then I got an email pop up on my watch, so I couldn't see the pace. Still doing 4:04, easing off. .411 that kilometre, 200 to go. Rep 4 done. Right. Too slow. .412 that kilometre. Final 200 effort now. Whew. 48 seconds, the final 200. I think 50 seconds is on pace, so happy with that. Right, walk for a minute and then 2 kilometers cool down. When I'm about to start these Wednesday interval sessions, I always remind myself that it's rest day tomorrow and recovery run on Friday, so I can give it everything today and then have enough time to recover, get back on my feet, ready for the weekend's fun and games. New threshold 442 at 169 beats per minute. I'll accept that. Oh, I've got a new record. These are always ridiculous. 411, my fastest K. Yeah, new threshold. Any more news? 455 per kilometre average pace again. Decent workout. Training effect VO2 max. 41 hours recovery, yeah, that's good. No run tomorrow. Productive again. Amazon shopping, great. I happen to know what Amazon's delivering to me today. Got some more electrolyte tablets and some energy gels. Looking forward to getting home and seeing those. Should be ready for the weekend now. Okay, so just some quick thoughts on how the interval session went this week. Really well. Still hitting all the paces on all the reps and enjoying the workout, to be honest. These Wednesdays are kind of the highlight of the week, really. So yeah, 5 times 1.2 kilometers. Fairly sure I averaged 4:15 or maybe a little bit faster on all of them. So taking that as a good sign. Give the legs a rest now and get back to it on Friday.
Good morning, Mark. Currently, in North Wingfield it's 14 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 12 degrees.
Morning guys, welcome to the long run for week 4. I never get nervous for sessions as a rule, but this morning it felt a bit like I was getting ready for a race. Trying to make sure I had everything spot on, breakfast, visiting the loo, and yeah, for once actually a little bit worried about this session. I've made sure I've got ready as best I can. I've got the Hokamak 5s on again like I did for last week's session, but today's is on another level. As you know, I've been running at 4:25 kilometre pace for however many minutes I needed to each of the previous long run weeks, and I managed 25 minutes at that pace last time. And during the interval sessions in midweek, I was running some sections of that at 4:15 pace. Well, that's the fastest I've managed to go up to now on any of my runs during the plan. So this morning's long run session, got the usual 20 minutes at easy pace to get warmed up, and then the first interval is 10 minutes at 4-minute kilometre pace. So that's 20-minute 5k pace. According to Strava, the fastest kilometre I've ever ran in my life is a 4:03. So 10 minutes at 4-minute pace, I'm going to be running 2.5 kilometres. So that's basically half the race I'm training for at target pace. If you can believe that. Then there's a 3-minute jog break to recover from that interval. And then the second interval is the same again, another 10 minutes at 4-minute pace, effectively making the session up to 5 kilometres worth of running at 20-minute 5k pace. And I don't know about you, but based on my history and how the plan's been going up to now, that sounds pretty challenging. I've no idea whether I'm going to get even close, but no, I'm never defeatist. Realistic with a hint of optimism is my usual modus operandi, so I'll try and stick with that. But it's a challenge this morning. Wish me luck. Right, I'm in the final 2 minutes of this warm-up section now. No idea how this interval's going to go. Let's find out. One done. second one done, much harder. So the final part of the long run is 32 minutes at easy pace. Still trying to get my breath back after nearly 3 minutes of it. That was as tough as I expected. I'll speak to you afterwards. Right, all done then. Just checking what my watch is saying after saving the run. Came up with 3 new records this time. I think it said a fastest ever kilometre, 3:55, which I think was the first one of the first effort. Kind of went downhill a little bit from there. And then fastest 5k, I think it mentioned. I'll have to check what that is. I can't remember all the numbers that it just spouted at me. And I think there may have been a fastest mile in there, which doesn't really mean a lot to me. But yeah, see what else it says. Average of 4:59 per kilometre over the 15.1 that I ran. VO2 max training effect. 48 hours recovery, so not bad. Not sure how recovery is going to go after that session. That was pretty brutal. Might need to drop one of those magic healing potions you find on video games to get over that. So I've got Monday gym and then recovery run, Tuesday easy run, and then it's back on the intervals Wednesday. And as you'd expect, they're even faster than last week, so it's going to be another fun week and one I'm looking forward to. But yeah, today was tough. I don't think I hit the goals. I'm sure I didn't, especially on the way back when it was more uphill than down, and I was already wiped out from the first one. So yeah, I'll put the stats up on screen anyway. I'll let you see how it went. But feel good for getting it done. I knew it was a challenge to run my fastest kilometre ever and then repeat that for basically 5k. So yeah, I got as close as I could. Hopefully I'll get some benefit from that and keep improving. So what were the lessons and takeaways from week 4's training? I think the main one, having just come back from the long run this morning, is that running at 4-minute kilometre pace is really difficult at this point for me. So yeah, that's something I'm going to have to get used to. It was, yeah, really tough this morning. Managed to kind of start off well and fade towards the end, especially given that, you know, it's trending downhill on the trail on the way out, and then I did the second rep heading back up, so yeah, that made it even more difficult, but I gave it everything I could, wasn't too far off, but yeah, that's left some room for improvement, let's put it that way. So yeah, that's just one main takeaway from this week. Otherwise, nothing to report. Okay, here we are again, working on fixing the duck feet so we can get the feet and knees and everything lined up nicely. We've finished the first 4 movements of the routine that I go through every week, and that section was called Inhibit and Mobilize, where we did some soft tissue work to loosen up the tight areas on the outside of the leg, and then some stretching and mobilization to make sure that our internal rotation was good and that the ankles are nice and mobile and able to carry out a bigger range of movement to help us avoid any excessive pronation and to make sure that we can use good running form as far as the ankles are concerned. This next section is called Activate and Strengthen. And today we're going to do our first strength movement of the routine. Nice short one. I'll give you a demonstration, and we're just trying to strengthen the inner thigh muscles just to help bring things closer together and avoid having the overcompensation from the stronger muscles on the outside of the leg and hips. This exercise is an isometric one, and it's called the adductor ball squeeze, but you can substitute any kind of ball for maybe a foam roller or a cushion or something that you can squeeze with your legs, which won't move but will help to keep you comfortable while you carry out the exercise. I'll give you a quick demo now. So I'm going to use a foam roller. That's all I have to hand, and that's what I've been using up to now. And the idea is that you lie down on your back, knees bent, put the ball or foam roller or cushion or whatever you've decided to use in between your knees. Lie down flat. I don't usually do it here with the stone floor under me. We want your back to be flat to the floor, the lower back nice and flat, and then you spend 30 seconds, I'm going to do this twice, squeezing with your thighs to try and squash whatever it is you're holding between your knees there, and just hold that for 30 seconds. Not giving it all your might, but maybe an 8 out of 10 squeeze. See if you can hold that for 30 seconds. If you're not used to doing this, you will feel things start to get a bit tense. I think might be the word I was looking for, in the muscles that squeeze your thighs together. And just make sure you keep your back flat to the floor, let your glutes relax. Your glutes will tend to tense up and want to join the party, but we don't want them to be active, just the inner thigh muscles. So let everything else relax. And once the 30 seconds is up, I tend to rest for about a minute, do it again for another 30 seconds, and once that time is up, I'll just squeeze as hard as I can for a few more seconds until it either feels like I'm going to cramp or I've just had enough, just to give it a bit of a maxing out at the end. And that's it. So how's the body holding up after 4 weeks of this 5k training plan? The magical, marvellous Hoka Mach 5 that I was waxing lyrical about last week did give me a couple of blisters just behind the ball of my foot on both feet, so they're not quite perfect. I will have to tape up next time I use them, I think, for a longer run. So yeah, I've got a couple of blisters to deal with. I'm hobbling a little bit around the house at the moment. Other than that, I think everything's feeling good. I do get little bits of tightness in the calves that I've mentioned before, because I'm always working the calves in the gym and then doing sessions a day or two later. I do feel that. So what I've planned to do is in the final kind of 2 weeks leading up to the race, I'll cut the strength training out for a couple of weeks, and just to make sure I'm not suffering any side effects of overworking those areas, and that I can focus on the running for those last 2 weeks. But yeah, I think that's everything covered. Feeling good. Looking ahead to week 5 of the training, now I've discovered how it feels to run at 4-minute kilometre pace, or at least to attempt to. We're at the point now where the plan is going to be asking me to do that a lot. The interval session on Wednesday, I think the target pace is between 4 minutes and 4:05, so that's going to be a fun challenge. And then yeah, I think there's more of the same come long run at the end of the week. So yeah, got that to look forward to. Hopefully, if I recover well in between sessions, they should start to feel a bit easier. Should see some improvement. Managed to run, according to Strava, my fastest ever 5k during the long run this morning. So that's a sign of progress, and hopefully that continues.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town.